Batch editing is our topic today on the special edition of Luminar New Artist Friday Coffee Break. Let's see what we can accomplish in 10 minutes or less, starting now. Hello everyone, glad you could join us for this special edition of New Artist Friday for our Luminar Coffee Break. Looking over some of the questions we've been receiving all week long, batch processing or batch editing seems to be right at the top of everyone's list. The goal is to get in, edit some photos, and quickly get back out to shooting. So I'm going to show you a couple examples on how I like to do that. So right here is a shoot that I did in Nelson, in Nevada, which is just in Las Vegas. This is a ghost town. It's awesome. It's kind of an iconic area to go photo shoot. So let's take this image here, and I like the composition. It was definitely shot on a very, very sunny day. So let's click on edit. What I want to do is bring out some of the shadows around the tires, and I just want to make the overall image look better. So the first thing I want to do is jump right over here to Enhance AI. I'm going to let it do its thing. Look at this. Look at that. It automatically improves color, detail, tone, and depth of an image. Here's before, there's after. Now what I want to try to do is use as many AI tools that I can whenever I want to do batch editing, because now the next image is going to look at, it's going to use AI technology and reanalyze it based on that image. All right. So the sky looks good, but let me just bring it in a little bit. I'm going to come down to the light tool and the white balance as shot. And let's see, let's pop up a little bit of the smart contrast. Oh, look at that. Already it's looking good. I want to bump up some of the shadows. All right, there we have it. So in a short time, look at that. We went from this to here. And actually, I want to add a little more. Let me go to details. I want to bring out the medium details. That's it. Because I want that, it's not rust, but just this, the different colored paint on the truck itself. Yeah, and the rust area down in here. I want to bring that out just a little bit more. All right, great. Now that I have this set, I'll right click, adjustments, copy the adjustments. Now I'm going to come over here and let's apply that same adjustment, let's say to this image. Right click, adjustment, and paste. Now I'm going to come over, no, look at that. In one click, I was able to take this image, let's do before and after, from an okay, kind of like dull, flat look. Let's give it a second to render. There we go, here we go. Before, after, and I was able to process that with one click. Now, a couple things we need to be careful on. This was a PSD file. Notice down here. So I didn't set the camera profile. So let's come over here for a moment. And this is an NEF file. So this is a raw file. Now I'm going to show you something here. If I set, for this particular image, if I set the camera profile, so here it is at Luminar default, but let's say I come down here and I choose Vivid. Now watch the change. Oh, look at that. Look what Vivid did to this image, and it knows it was shot with a Nikon D300 camera. Now, if I were to save this as a template down here, come down, save, and now that that's saved as a template, I'll show you into the template section. And I'm just going to call it truck. Rename it truck. There it is. Now, if I were to come over to this image here and I want to apply that same template. So from this look right here, we created this adjustments. We copied it over to here, made an additional change, but this time, instead of me copying it, right click, adjustments, copy, and then paste here, well, I can come over to templates and I can use that truck that we just created. So that's another way of batch processing. And there it is. Now, when I first started out doing this, and a good friend of mine, Sherry, had the same issue, I thought that if I were to select, let's say, this image here, and then came all the way down to these images, I'm pressing the Shift key. So now I selected a whole group of images. So I selected 9 photos. I would have thought that if I came to template and clicked on the template of truck, all 9 of them would have been updated, but that's not the case. Templates only work on one image at a time. So since this image here, I applied it, what I can do now is, as long as I keep this highlighted, I'm going to select here to here. Now I have those 9 images selected, but I want that to be my main image. Right click, adjustment, now synchronize adjustments. Now, because that particular image is highlighted, it's going to adjust based on all of its values all over to here. And there we have it. I mean, look how quick it was to quickly batch process these or batch edit these images. So a couple ways again, Control or Command D to deselect all of them. Notice there's a little icon here that shows that this image has been edited. Right click, adjustment, copy the adjustment, come to another image, right click, adjustment, paste. So that's one way of doing it. Another way I showed you was under templates. If I'm going to do single ones, let me grab this one here, then I can apply a template to the single image. Once I apply my template, I can make further changes where I want. There it is. Well, that came out nice. Now that I applied it to this image, select the rest of the images, right click and make sure that that is still highlighted, adjustment, sync adjustments. All right, so I wanted to show you how we did that because, again, when I first did it, I just assumed select all my images, hit template, boom, the template was applied to all of them, and that's not the case. It's designed to where templates work on one image at a time, and then you right click like I showed you and copy the adjustments or select all the images, and then you would come in and select sync adjustments. All right, so I hope that helped you guys, and it's great. Walter, thank you. I'm feeling much better, so thank you so much for joining us. Now if you want, stick around for the Ask Me Anything question over on Zoom. If you like what you're seeing, please give us a thumbs up and leave comments below on what you'd like to see us work on in the next feature, the next episode of Luminar Coffee Break. And let me put in the description here. It's Luminar Tips. Luminar.tips/Ask Me Anything. AMA. There it is. So I put that in the chat. If you want, spend 10 to 15 minutes with us on Zoom, where you can ask me any questions about what we just did, or if you have other questions about Luminar. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you at the next coffee break.